Double D. Welcome to the real T with Double D. Welcome to the real T with Double D. Yeah. Grab your tea and take a seat, cause we got something to say. We bring you that news when it happens same day. All of it be accurate, cause we give it to them straight. And the real T with Double D don't spread nothing fake. Wanna hear news about politics, then go on here subscribe. Like the Channel 12, we bring it to them live. With updates by Trump trial and how he facing time. We gon' let you know the real about the news and crimes. Speak on all topics and we make it interesting. Post them on the channel, now they wanna call us messy. When celeb news exposed, we be on it in a second. Blackery while I'm black, we accurate, not guessing. Welcome to the real T with Double D. Welcome to the real T with Double D. Welcome to the real T with Double D. Welcome to the real T with Double D.
Hey players, welcome to a brand new episode of The Real T with Double D. Of course, I'm your girl Double D, and we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and the TikTok. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode. Listen, Double D is exhausted to the highest level of exhaustedness, and it's not because of my physical labor, although my children are quite challenging. Although my job can be a bit of a headache sometimes, it's not that, honey. It is not that. It is the world at large, the MAGA world, the frump and dump world. Seeing this stuff coming down every 15, 20 minutes to an hour, baby, it has got me exhausted to the highest level of exhaustedness, honey. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it a stack with you, baby. We're not going to be here all night because Double D is not going to keep on talking about who frump and dump is appointing and all these things. I mean, I think it's safe to say, honey, that the name of this episode tonight is very fitting, honey, because it is definitely elect a clown and expect a circus, honey. So the name of tonight's episode is Clown Car. Oh, yes, honey. Tonight's episode will be named Clown Car in honor of Frump and Dump's cabinet selections thus far. And we'll be going through some of them, not all of them, and we'll be dibbling and dabbling in a few of them and a few other topics on tonight. But first, before I get into that, honey, I just want to thank you all for joining me on the Facebook, YouTube, and the TikTok. I want to tell y'all that I really appreciate y'all for riding and flying with me, showing up here every single week, honey. We are on week 4. That Double D has been here every single week. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you. I almost didn't make it tonight, honey. You see how sleepy these eyes are? Baby, I was ready to dive in my bed, but I said, no, I'm gonna go ahead and do the right thing, honey, and show up and show out for the players. So I went ahead and gathered us a show, and we're just gonna get into the shenanigans real quick and funky like, and then scurry on out of here and have us a good old night. Thank you to my regulars out there that are here. I appreciate y'all. And y'all go ahead and grab your tea, have a seat, baby, and let's get into the first story. We're going to, of course, be talking about the clown car. So again, tonight's episode's name is the Clown Car, honey, because when you elect a clown, you can expect a circus, honey, and he is really filling up that clown car with a lot of clownery and foolishness, honey. I mean, it is just the car is just runneth over with all the clownery that he is filling this car with. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. As we all know, I have a photo of the selections up until yesterday. Double D did not get a chance to put in a couple of the selections, but I have them for you. We don't need to go through all of them, honey. We know the ones that have been caught ruffling the most feathers has thus far, including tonight. But thus far, we have Tulsi Gabbard, who has been appointed as the Director of National Intelligence. And of course, we have the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz, who has been nominated as the Attorney General. And then we have RFK Jr., that has been nominated as the Director of HHS. Now, of course, a lot of his appointees have a lot with them, no experience. I mean, it feels like the only experience that you need to have to work in the front and dump administration is just be a tank sniffer. I mean, that is just truth. The truth is the light. And it's really sad that, okay, I can understand you don't want to have anybody working in your administration that does not like you, that doesn't believe in what you are, somewhat of what you believe. I can completely understand those things. But to not have anybody that believes what you believe be qualified for these positions is absolutely ridiculous and a hot boo sheet of mess. So what I'm going to say here is Freppy Dump not only wants someone that is loyal to him, but he wants someone that has shown and proven that they are going to do his bidding, do the things that he wants them to do without little to no pushback. That is what Donald Trump is looking for, and that's why he has these lowly qualified or unqualified people for these positions. Let's take the director of national intelligence, for instance, Tulsi Gabbard. Mitt Romney, who we all know is a real Republican, actually accused her, I believe that was last year, of being a Russian propagandist because of the fact some of the videos and some of the things that she was saying aligned with Russian talking points. Felt like she was getting paid by Russia to spew some of the things that she said. Now let's go and talk about some of Tulsi's background just a little bit here. Tulsi Gabbard is a member of the House of Representatives from Hawaii. She was a Democrat, but she left the Democrat Party and endorsed Front and Dump in 2021. No, excuse me. She left the Democrat Party in 2022. However, she was upset in a lot of people's opinion because she did not do well when she ran for president. As we all know, she ran for president for the Democrat nomination against President Biden and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. That's when she went up there and told all of those lies about Kamala Harris when Kamala Harris was running for president for that Democrat nomination against Joe Biden back in 2020. She was in the military. She's a veteran, but she had no capacity in intelligence when she ran, was in the military for quite some time. In fact, she was in the National Guard and the Army Reserve, is what she was in. Now, she was the only Democrat, because she was a Democrat at the time, to vote no on Frumpy Dump's impeachment. The second one, she was the only Democrat to vote no against that impeachment. And then shortly after that, she endorsed Frumpy Dump for president. She left the Democrat Party and then she endorsed Frumpy Dump for president, and she's been the MAGA star since she crossed over. Here recently, I believe this was over the summer, she said that she was placed on the no-fly list or something like that, or the watch list, a terrorist watch list. No one has ever been able to substantiate that. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out in the Washington Arrangement if she actually makes it to a confirmation hearing, if that was actually true. But she went on to social media and blamed Kamala Harris and President Biden, trying to say that they were the reason why she was placed on this watch list or whatnot, but nobody was ever able to prove. They have contacted TSA to find out if there was any truth to this. But as of right now, I mean, it could be just one of Tulsi's lies. Again, she's been accused by members of her own party, like Mitt Romney, Liz Cheney, and several others of being a Russian propagandist. And if you look at some of the videos, which unfortunately I cannot play, hear some of the things that she said, you would be inclined to believe that too. At the end of the day, she's not qualified for the position. This person is gonna have a hard time even getting the clearance through the FBI. It's just gonna be very interesting to see how this situation plays out. The people that Frumpy Dump is appointing at this point is laughable. When I heard about Marco Rubio being appointed to the Secretary of State, I mean, although we can say a lot of things about Marco Rubio, we can say, he was disrespected by Frumpy Dump being called Little Marco. We can say that he's a Frumpy Dump tank sniffer. But at the end of the day, Marco Rubio is more qualified than anybody that Frumpy Dump would ever be able to get to hold that position. I don't like him. I don't agree on some of his policies and the way he thinks about things. I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, he is more qualified. But when you go down to somebody like Tulsi Gabbard and the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz, they have absolutely no credentials that would make them qualify for a position like the Attorney General of the United States. I mean, imagine being investigated by the very department that you are supposed to be leading. I mean, if that's not a conflict of interest, then I don't know what is. I mean, it's absolutely despicable and disgusting. And a lot of people are thinking that this was done as a scapegoat for the privileged pervert because of the fact that, as we all know, and I have reported on, that there was an ethics report that was supposed to be voted on Friday on whether that will be released publicly. Matt Gaetz has already resigned before, even ahead, I would say ahead of the confirmation hearing. He resigned from the House of Representatives, and shortly after that, he was nominated for the Attorney General of the United States. Most people would say that a lot of people are saying at this point that this right here was a scapegoat, so that report wouldn't be released because the Ethics Committee does not have any jurisdiction over anybody that is not a member of Congress. So technically, they may not. I mean, we don't know. These rules, they skirt around these rules so much, you just really don't know what's going to happen when it comes down to this stuff. But from what I understand of it, they're not supposed to hold that vote to release the report on the privileged pervert. However, if he's going to be the Attorney General of the United States, I think that it would be remiss for us to not know what was in that report. And if they think the FBI, when they're doing a background check on the privileged pervert, can't get a hold of that, I don't know what the hell they're thinking, because the FBI can literally come in my house right now and get a hold of my toenail. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just that simple. So tonight we have an exclusive by ABC News regarding the ethics, some of the contents of this ethics report. Now, according to them, a woman testified to the House Ethics Committee that the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz had engaged in a ucha kucha la 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 with her when she was 17 years old. Now, this woman, who was the center of the years-long Justice Department investigation into the actual trafficking allegations surrounding the privileged pervert, testified to the House Ethics Committee that the now former Florida Congressman, the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz, did the ucha kucha la 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 with her when she was 17. Over the summer, the House Ethics Committee subpoenaed the woman, and she's now in her 20s, and she sat for multiple days of testimony where she testified to the committee that the privileged pervert had engaged in a ucha kucha la 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 with her when she was a minor. Now, that's according to sources close to the investigation. Now, of course, we know Matt Gaetz has denied these allegations, saying that they were all invented. Now, of course, we know the Justice Department, for whatever their reasons was, decided not to prosecute the privileged pervert, despite the fact that they had a lady saying that Matt Gaetz had done this and that. They also had Venmo transactions. For some reason, Merrick Garland's Justice Department decided not to pursue any charges against him. And they spent years probing the allegations against him, including the allegations of obstruction of justice. But again, they did not bring any charges. Now, this right here, this investigation, according to the reporting, the committee's star witness was Joe Greenberg, who was friends with the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz. And Matt Gaetz issued a statement saying that Joe Greenberg is a felonious liar who involves others in his lies. Greenberg was initially indicted for attempting to falsely smear a teacher at a local high school as a pedo. He also said that Joe Greenberg was just a foul human being who was just making these things up. He also said that the woman's allegations regarding him were false, and that these claims were being made by a former friend of Joel Greenberg. That's what Matt Gaetz had to say. Now, as we know, Joel Greenberg, who was close friends with the privileged pervert, is now serving 11 years in prison after he reached a deal with investigators in May of 2021. He pled guilty to multiple federal crimes, including sexual trafficking of a woman when she was a minor and introducing her to other adult men who would then engage in nasty, filthy McNasty stuff with her when she was underage. Now, according to Greenberg's plea deal, the woman met Joel Greenberg online in June in 2017 and began meeting him in hotels, houses, and according to them, he introduced the minor to several adult men, one of them being Matt Gaetz. Over the course of the investigation, they learned that this minor was less than 18 years old and had been engaging in commercial sexual activity. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So again, let's go back to the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz' background. When we're talking about qualifications, he was only a real estate attorney and corporate attorney for a private firm. He's never been a district attorney. He's never been a federal prosecutor. He's never done any of these things. His literal experience is 2 years at a private law firm in which his rich parents may have gotten him that job fresh out of law school. He has no qualifications. He's also not liked within the House nor the Senate. As we all know, Matt Gaetz is known to be a person that caused trouble. He did this last year with Kevin McCarthy and ruffled a lot of feathers when he moved to oust Speaker Kevin McCarthy, even though he was ultimately ousted. Privileged pervert did not make any friends when he did that. So a lot of the senators, which I don't believe them. I mean, I'm gonna look you in my eyes when I say this. A lot of the senators have said that they don't know what it's gonna bring, and we'll see what come up in confirmation with them. I don't believe that for a second. I believe that I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I believe that he is going to be confirmed as the attorney general. I do not. The only thing that would possibly stop this, in my opinion, is if for some reason he can't get through the clearance. I mean, that's the only thing I can see, because these Republicans have lied time and time after again, saying that they're not going to support some of the things that Donald Trump has done, and then ultimately at the end they end up supporting it. And this is going to wreak havoc on the American people if this happens, because Matt Gaetz is definitely going to go after Frumpy Dump's political enemies for him. I can see Matt Gaetz suspending a lot of investigations into police officers, and I can see him not supporting student loan forgiveness and different things. I can see a lot of things happening that is going to be just detrimental on the democracy of the American people. And I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to go back to this and tell you this again. I do not believe these senators, these Republican senators, that they won't vote to confirm Frumpy Dump. And here is one of the reasons why I don't believe it.
There's no question he's a leader of our party. So now he's got a mission statement, his mission, and his goals and objectives, whatever that is, we need to embrace it. All of it. Every single word. If Donald Trump says jump 3 feet high and scratch your head, we all jump 3 feet high and scratch our heads. That's it.
That was Texas Republican Representative Troy Nehls, or however you say his name, honey. It really doesn't matter. That was him, honey. Now, he has been a stark defender of Frumpy Dump. Now, like I told you, anybody who defends Frumpy Dump, you definitely got to take a look at their background. And one of the reasons that he may be defending Frumpy Dump is because he's now facing an ethics investigation himself. Oh, yes, honey. It's true. The ethics committee is investigating him for misappropriating $25,000 in campaign funds. Troy Nehls has also been accused of stolen valor. Well, he did. He stole. I mean, it's no accusing there. He lied and said that he was a combat infantry He was in the combat infantry. He wore the lapel on the house floor, and he had to stop wearing it after it was discovered that he was never in combat. In fact, he was a civil affairs officer. Troy Nails has been a stark defender of front and dump, but we always find out that anybody that is willing to say, so as a grown man, you willing to stand up here and say that if somebody tells you to jump, you're gonna say how high. Baby, you already know, honey, it's something stinking in that water. It just don't make no sense. This man is really damn ridiculous, and a high bullshit man standing up here with Front and Dump's mugshot on his shirt with a tie on. It is absolutely absurd. But again, he's being investigated for misappropriation of $25,000 of campaign funds, and he stole valor. So I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. Now, moving on, honey, of course, we're going to talk about RFK, honey. We can't leave him out because, as we all know, he has been appointed to one of a very important role, which is the director of the Health and Human Services Department. This is a very huge umbrella that this guy is going to be over, and he has absolutely no medical experience, no degrees in medical, nothing. He is an environmental lawyer, but RFK has been known as a stark conspiracy theorist, anti-vaxxer. He has been known to be exactly what he is, a conspiracy theorist tackhead. And Front and Dump has decided to put him over the health of American citizens, letting you know that he really don't give a damn about the American people, because this guy is not qualified. Now let's talk about some of the things that RFK has done. As we all know, he is the son of Robert F. Kennedy. He is the nephew of John F. Kennedy, former president. RFK promoted that chemicals in water turn people gay. He said that COVID-19 was a bioweapon designed to spare Jewish people. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to play y'all a clip of him speaking. I'm sorry, because y'all got to hear this.
And we need to talk about bioweapons. I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years. And you know, the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure of genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted that or not. But there are papers out there that show the racial and ethnic differential impact to that. We do know that the Chinese are spending hundreds of millions of dollars developing ethnic bioweapons.
All right, that's enough. I can't take it anymore, honey. Every time he speaks, I quiver. He has some kind of something going on with his throat, honey. I mean, I thought maybe he had smoked too many cigarettes, but that ain't it. Okay, scarnoma or something like that is what it was. I think I saw. But anyway, another thing about John F. K. RFK. Even though his dad, them dogs in my backyard. Y'all hear them? I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Tucker, I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, I heard something outside that scared me, and it's the dogs barking. Those aren't my dogs. But anyway, even though his uncle John F. Kennedy, when he was president, signed the vaccination Vaccination Assistance Act, which is designed to get folks vaccinated as early as possible. He has been an avid anti-vaxxer, and you wouldn't think that he would be an anti-vaxxer because of that, but he is. He loves his uncle, but he is an avid anti-vaxxer. He says that they don't work. He says that they are not effective. But looking at the statistics here from back in the 1900s versus now, when 1900s when there were no vaccines versus now, I mean, we have to say that something definitely happened there. Back in the 1900s, the causes of death of infectious diseases was 53%. Cause of death in 2010 from infectious disease changed to 3%. And that is because we have all of those vaccinations for like measles and mumps and polio and chickenpox and things like that, things that combat infectious diseases or prevent infectious diseases or make them a little more tolerable. So RFK is not. He's also an avid election denier. He flirted with the election denying himself. Specifically, he claimed there was evidence evidence in the numbers to suggest that the 2004 election was stolen from Democrats. Um, then he said, he said that emerged right after George Bush won re-election over his Democratic challenger John Kerry. Kennedy went on record to question if the election results were legitimate and claimed there were a coordinated media blackout. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Also, we know about John F. Kennedy and the bear. We know that back in Central Park in 2014, a deceased bear cub was found in the woods. I'm not in the woods, but in Central Park, over in a bush. We found out, I believe it was just this year, that Robert F. Kennedy was responsible for that. He ran over the bear. He said that his intentions was to skin the bear and keep the bear. So he drove with the carcass in his vehicle. And again, his intention was to skin the bear, keep the bear, and eat the bear. That was his intentions. That's what he said. He was going to put it in the refrigerator and eat it. And he ended up having to toss the bear for some reason. And there was actually a report to substantiate that when he admitted it to Roseanne Barr that he had done that. There was a report to substantiate that a bear was found in the a deceased bear cub was found in the Central Park in 2014, and that leads back to John F. Kennedy. There's actually pictures. Not John F. Kennedy, but Robert F. Kennedy, RFK. It leads back to him because he has pictures of the actual cub. I mean, this guy's not qualified. I don't know how many times I got to say this. Frumpy Dump's cabinet is just. I mean, it's exhausting to talk about, you guys. I'm telling you, I'm overly exhausted with talking about these people who Frumpy Dump is choosing. I mean, he completely made up a job for Elon Musk. As you can see up here on the actual cabinet, the interior of the cabinet, you don't see these guys right here. And you're not going to see them. You're not going to see Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy because he actually made up this position for them. There is no Department of Government Efficiency. He made this up. There's no appropriations for it. There's no office for it. There's nothing. He's going to have to go to the Senate and he's going to have to create this and get a budget for it and all of that. Elon Musk is already taking applications, honey, via Twitter. He is literally already taking applications through Twitter. He has been sitting down with this. Elon Musk has been talking on the phone with foreign leaders. Like, this is, you cannot make this stuff up, even if you tried. I feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone, like an alternate universe, because this cannot be real. The most prestigious position in the United States of America is the President of the United States, and we literally have a tackhead that's running it. It's absurd. It is absolutely absurd, and he's putting these people in positions of power that they do not need to be in. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So, but out of all the appointments that he has made thus far, even though he has quite a few left, you know who we haven't seen on there, honey? Tim Scott.
for listening to the Real T with Double D. Join us next week for the next episode of the most accurate news on the net. Be sure to follow on our social media platforms to stay up to date with all your day-to-day tea.
Welcome to the Real T with Double D.
And we out.
Welcome to the Real T with Double D. 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 Welcome to the